This video probably still would have been here without today's sponsor, but hey, it's time to show something, right? So here goes. Here at the Coded Productions, we love nothing more than to take as much money from you, the viewer, as we possibly can, which is why we're proud to talk to you about consolefix.shop, a great place for you to spend your hard-earned cash. I mean, yeah, fair enough, you get parts and supplies that help you fix things, but you've got to give me some money in return. Nothing in life's free, and if you pay me for it, you might appreciate it more. Or not, hey, I'm not judging. With that being said, we do have some pretty cool stuff on the shelves, including power supplies, HDMI ports, charging chips, MOSFETs, and whatever else you can think of that'll give you the illusion that you're getting a good deal. So head on over to the online store by clicking on the link in the video description, and if there's one thing I can guarantee, is that there will be a way for me to take your money. ConsoleFix, your friendly money grabbing YouTuber. So this has been sent in by a customer. I think it's a disk drive issue, but it looks like it's got a few issues, so yeah. Some very, very odd fan on here. Don't know what the deal is with that. Some sort of a mod, I guess. Why, I don't know. But I like the ingenuity. Don't know what the deal is with that. Also don't know what voltage that's meant to be, so yeah. I'm not gonna attempt to power that fan, I don't think. Don't trust it. But apparently it's got a disk drive issue, so yeah, let's just have a look, shall we? First and foremost, don't know what this is around here. Ugh. Lovely. This has definitely seen better days. Let's pop in the HDMI, let's make sure it works. And let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look, see. Right, let me go to the ugly cam for a minute. I haven't got... There you go. Face cam, ugly cam. Yeah, okay. Well, it's working on... Yeah, it's working on the dashboard. So, I need to find a disc. So, you're going to have to bear with me a sec, because like a dickhead, I haven't picked one up. Okay, it's not taking a disc at all. And it's not recognising the disk drive being plugged in. So, that's likely going to be something to do with the disk drive connector. Would that fan mod have overpowered something? I'm not sure. It looks like it's been damaged, which is why they've done a fan mod. So yeah, let's have a look anyway. So it's got a disk drive issue, but the fact that it's not beeping when I press the disk drive button means that it's not recognising that the disk drive is plugged in, because that won't be without the disk drive being plugged in. So more likely that something's been damaged. More likely that something's been damaged. So if you're watching this back as a video, this will probably make a video. If you are watching back as a video, don't forget to subscribe, because it makes me look more popular than I am. I'm wondering if that connector could be damaged. Don't know. We'll have a look. We will have a look. Well, just as soon as I remove... Well, where's my Phillips screwdriver's gone? Just as soon as I remove the SSD cover. Well, that's going to explain it. That's going to explain it. We have liquid damage, which means I'm going to need to inspect the rest of the board as well. But that ribbon is going to need replacing. So this is an EDM 020 board. So I'm going to need to inspect the entire board, because this is definitely liquid damaged. The ribbon cable, I'll show you in a minute, but the ribbon cable is water damaged, or liquid damaged rather. Yeah, quite a bit of damage to this. Wow, what the actual hell? Come on. There's a lot of pressure on this board for some weird reason. Wow, this is incredibly liquid damaged. I'm wondering if this is playing a part on it. There you go. Oh, well, yeah, that's going to explain it. That's going to explain it. Mark, you're a legend. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Joy Joints. Really appreciate it, mate. And Carlos for the bits. Thank you, guys. Well, that would explain the pressure on the board. as in the suction. Like there was a suction, because I thought that it was one of them with the like the big thermal pad there, but no, the suction is literally down to that thermal paste. I'll clean the housing up later on. That is never going to keep cool under full load with thermal paste like that. It's going to have to be sorted out. That can be scrapped. Well, I won't scrap it. I'll get rid of it, but I won't scrap it. I'll clean it up. I'll replace that with another one. And I need to clean that thermal paste off as well. Yeah, you can see we've got liquid damage all around here, so it's all around the speaker as well. This has not been very well looked after. The problem with these, they're overclocked massively. Well, not massively, but they're overclocked. They're overclocked from factory. And the problem with that is that increases the heat output. If they was standard like the Xbox is, they wouldn't need liquid metal. But because they're overclocked, they need liquid metal to run properly. Because they need that extra conductivity, thermal conductivity between the APU and the heatsink to be able to function properly. Don't like the look of that cap there, but it's fine. I mean, the console's working. If that cap was bad, it wouldn't be turning on, but I'm not a fan of how that looks. I'm just looking for corrosion. I mean, this around here, I'm not going to sit here scrubbing this off. It's kind of pointless. We do have a nice pube of some sort there, though. Ugh, lovely. Yeah, you know what? I think I am going to have to sit there and scrub some of that off. It's all over the other side as well. It is all isolated to the one side, though. Yeah, DNA and find out who messed this board up. Battery should be fine. I can take it out and test it, though. Let's just have a look around here first, because this is not looking good, is it? I'm surprised. Well, I will be surprised if that disk drive is even getting any power, because we've got corrosion around this disk drive connector. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if that was even getting any power, to be honest. Let's just drop some IPA there. Ah, lovely. Probably going to need to resolder them. But you can see here, this is why I need to clean this up, because look at this. It's starting to eat away at some of these wires. I need to neutralise this liquid damage before it gets worse. Someone's had a go at trying to fix this. Yeah, I think I might need to... what the hell? I think I might need to resolder these joints just to make sure that they're all good. I don't know what the hell that is, but it doesn't look great. Someone just gifted 5 subs. Wheaty, you legend. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that, buddy. By the way, if you want to become a channel member, it does massively support me. I am now offering free repairs, by the way, so I could probably use all the support I can get, because I no longer charge for repairs. I'm doing all repairs at parts and return shipping only costs. That is going to need a new connector. That pad there is knackered. It needs some trace repair, so this connector's going to have to come off. This is where the fun begins. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing repairs for free. However, it's under the caveat that it's going to be parts and return shipping costs. The parts costs are going to be based, if I sell the stuff on my store, then it's going to be based on my own store's costs. So that will include, obviously, markup for profit. But Other than that, obviously, I'm probably going to get a lot of jobs coming. So, if it takes forever to do it, then it takes forever to do it. I'm including those as well, time and tide. I'm including those as well, mate. The devices I've already got here. Which is why I'm not getting permission from the customer to replace this connector. We do have a problem here. We do have a little bit of a problem. The disk drive connector needs to come off. And the issue with that is we've got a speaker there. So that speaker needs to be desoldered from the board before I can do anything. Now obviously this speaker's plastic. Or at least the outer cases. So this is what makes the console go beep when you turn it on. So we don't want to damage it. So I'm going to use some low melt solder. Right, so something you don't hear from me every day, I'm going to be using low melt solder. Because, like I said, I need to get this off without damaging it. It's only 2 contacts, but problem is if I do it from the other side, then I'm going to melt the disk drive connector. If I take the disk drive connector off from this side, then I'm going to melt the speaker. So it's lose-lose. You have to be very careful when you're working in that area. There you go. And you got to try not to get flux inside the connector either, because otherwise you'll mess up the sound and it'll be really, really quiet. So yeah, kind of sucks. But yeah, there's an arrow there as well. That arrow goes closest to the edge of the board. Right, so cleaned that up. Right, so that's off. That connector. So now I can get the other connector off, because there's definitely at least one damaged trace under there. So I'm going to need to sort that out. There you go. It's more like it. WC, thank you for subbing on Twitch, mate. I really appreciate that. Okay, so that connector's off. Not sure if I can reuse that connector yet. I'll have a look at that in a minute. I need to look at the actual solder joints first, because I know there's at least one damaged trace there. But yeah, that is definitely not good. Bad goggles, thank you. Resubscribing for 8 months, appreciate that. Yeah, so that's exactly why this connector needed to come off. Probably can salvage that pad. I don't know, we'll see. Probably can salvage the pad if I give it a little bit of a scrape. But obviously, that's going to be the main power. Main power to that connector. It's the thickest trace. It's usually the traces with the most amount of current which going through and which corrode, as a general rule. So that's probably going to be either 5 volt or 12 volt. I don't actually know. Looks like we might have a burnt resistor as well, so I'll have to check that out. Just want to clean it up as best I can. We've probably got a blown resistor as well on top of everything else. So I'm going to scrape this back a little bit, just to make sure that I've still got continuity. It looks like I have, but I'm going to double check with the multimeter anyway. So continuity mode. Yeah, still got continuity. And there's no short on there either, which is great. I don't know what that resistor is meant to be, but let's just have a look what it's reading as. Open line. It's reading as open line. Well, it's showing up as overload, but let's just scrape a bit of that trace so as I can make 100% sure I'm getting the contact on it. Ah, now it's reading. Just the end cap's gone. 1000 ohms. I would say that's probably correct. Usually, if a resistor goes bad, it's going to increase in resistance, not decrease, unless it completely blows. But that's reading as 1000 ohms, so it's absolutely fine. Well, 0.995, which should be fine. Now I'm getting a connection, now I've scraped it back. Hungry Giant, thank you for resubbing, mate, I appreciate that. There we go, that looks a million times better. A million times better. There we go. Right, okay, that's that. So let's just have a look at the state of this connector. Yeah, needs replacing, unfortunately. Don't know if you can see that inside there. But yeah, it's pretty corroded inside there. And unfortunately you just can't rely on just cleaning that up. Once it's corroded inside the connector, it's, especially on these ones where you can't really get inside to get inside the pins, it's pretty much a goner at that point, and you're going to need to replace the thing. Yeah, let's give this an autopsy and see how bad it really is. I'm going to replace it anyway. Let's just give it an autopsy. And you can see just how bad it is. I mean, the corrosion that's around the back of it as well. It certainly took a beating. That's for sure. Yeah, I'll be replacing this connector, so let's just give it an autopsy just for the fun of it. So there's these pins on the left hand side. I mean, you can see just how bad it is. I mean, look at that. Just around inside the actual bridges where the pins sit, but these pins here, goners, all of them. He was never cleaning that out.
Subscribed for 8 months. Signed into wrong account. That means you will get
never cleaning that out, unfortunately. Yeah, not good. So needs replacing. There we go. There's the donor connector. Do-be-do-do-do. Do-do-do-be-do-do-do. Damn it, I forgot to get the other connector off. No, I'll get it off in a minute. Be alright. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Right, I just got to line this up. It's awkward to see these because of how low down the pins are. So I'll line it up before I position the board. There we go. I think that should do it. Right, I need to double check that, make sure it's in the right place. Right, that's close enough. That is close enough. I'm not gonna worry about that being millimeters out. It's not gonna hurt anything. Right, let's just test these pins for structural integrity. They all look fine, but looks can be deceiving. No, no, no. Ha! Told you looks can be deceiving. Look. See? I'm going to need to run the soldering iron over that entire area. Alright, that's fine. It's going to be fairly tricky. Chances are I'm going to get soldered on this little retention arm thing. Nope, no bridges. Looks good to me. Damn it. It'll keep going in and out of focus as I'm moving around. But yeah, that looks good. Nice. Very nice indeed. Stairs say solid. Stairs does indeed. See, I don't need sound effects and voice changes. Solid. Retention arm still moves freely. Nice. Sweet. I'll get rid of that IPA in a little while. Let's fix this. Whether or not they actually want to put a new fan in, I don't know, but I'm going to fix it anyway. Just because we can. Oh, what is this disgusting solder? That won't even melt. Ugh. Yuck. Look at that. My soldering iron is at 450 degrees Celsius. What on earth is that? Really? Is that what kids are using for solder these days? Is this what the kids are using for solder these days, boys and girls? Oh God, wow. What the? What is that? That's not solder. That's where the liquid metal went, isn't it? The liquid metal's under there. Look at it. That is not solder. Get it away. We use it on the APU. Good grief. Definitely seems like some sort of plumber's solder, yeah. No, it actually looks like someone's tried to glue it. There's some sort of substance here, I think it's glue, around there. So it looks like it's been repaired before and then maybe someone's ripped it off for a second time, I don't know. Or they've tried and failed to glue it on. But that is not good, because if this Wi-Fi chip ever needs replacing now, then we're screwed. Well, not we, but the owner. Look at it. It's definitely glue. I'm not going to worry about trying to get all of that off, to be honest with you. I'm not concerned with it. Would I like to? Yes. Am I going to spend half an hour scraping away? No. We don't need no B&Q solder. Because I've got Kester at home. Just realised you guys can't even see what I can see. So I'm looking at this here around the Wi-Fi chip. It's there's some sort of a substance there. It looks like super glue. I mean, super glue is fine to hold connectors on. It is really strong, but yeah, you're meant to put the connector down first before you actually super glue it. Like, it's usually how it works. No, it's just that seems to be what people are sending me in, mate. I'm not specialising in PS5s. I'm doing a lot of R&D on PS5s, yes, but I'm not specialising in them. There's a lot of much smarter people out there than me on these things. I'll fake it till I make it, to be honest. I actually don't know anything. I'll just read a book when I need to know something. Right, anyway. Let's recreate these ground pads where the anchor points are going to be. But saying that, first of all, I need to protect some of this 12 volt connection, because if I don't, then it's going to short out on the ground pad. We don't want that. So this here all needs to be conformal coated, apart from a little bit for the trace, and that's it. So I'll leave a little bit there for the trace, but this bit here especially needs protecting. And that should do it, I think. Right, let's just grab a UV light. Right, I'm going to leave that to cure that. It'll take a couple of minutes. I'm trialling this mechanic UV light because I'm going to be selling them on the store if they're any good. So if you're wondering why I've changed UV lights, it's just because I want to trial it. Yep, that works. Nicely cured. Nicely cured. Good. Let's tin that. Let's tin that. So that's going to be the main 12 volt line. That's ground, and then that's a sense line, I think. So let's add a bit more flux just to tin these ground pads. Actually, let's check this, because I don't know if that wire that's next to the ground pad is actually a ground or not. I'm going to have to double check that. No, it is not. So it's a good job that I didn't solder that. It's not a ground. We get a diode reading of 0.46. Is it connected to the main 12 volt input? No, it's not. Don't know where that goes, but it's not ground. Oh, hang on. Oh no, sorry, I'm in diode mode now. No, it's not ground. So, I don't know where that goes, but if that was shorted, we would have had some problems. So it's a good job I checked it. So I'm going to need to conformal coat that as well. Which means now I've got to completely waste the flux that I've just put down. Never mind. Good job I checked. I would have tried to power it on and it probably would have been blue light of death or no power. I'd have been like, what the hell is going on? Scratching my head for the next 3 hours wondering why I can't fix it. Right, more conformal coating then, I guess. Just protect that area. There you go. Nice little blob. It won't take long to conformal coat that. Or rather to cure that. Yeah, that's good. A little bit of IPA on my probe, but yeah, that's fine. With a little bit of flux, we can fix this board tonight. Alright, a little bit of solder. A little bit of solder. There we go. I'm going to take some used wick. No, I'm not, because that's got that crappy solder on it. So I'm just going to recreate these ground pads and give it somewhere to basically anchor to. This is a really effective method for ground pads. Just flood it with solder. I actually need to move it over a little bit. There you go. Flood that with solder. And then I'm just going to break that away to get it as flat to the board as I can. And there we go. One very solid new ground pad. It's the same for the other side. Cool. Good stuff. It be jumper wire time. Let's start with this one. Let's tin the wire. Tweezers. That is a very, very weak wire. That's better. A nice amount of solder on it now. Trim that away. Next, this one can carry a fair bit of current, so I'm going to double up on the jumper wire. The jumper wire is most likely going to be capable of carrying the current, but it's a fairly thick trace. So I'm going to double up on the wire. So if it goes out of focus, it's as I'm pushing down on the board, because these boards are not flat. As I'm pushing down on the board, it goes in and out of focus, but there's not really a lot I can do about that. Ah, damn it. There is something I can do about knocking jumper wires off after I've just soldered them, though. Right, I'll just grab a bit more solder. So this isn't going to look pretty, but it is what it is, I'm afraid. There we go. Just clean this up. Yeah, because so the reason I don't leave it overhanging the trace is because number one, I don't want it to short out if there's any exposed ground pad underneath, and number two, I can grab the wire with the tweezers if I leave it loose on one side. But I can add conformal coating for strength anyway. You know, to make the jumper wire stronger, I can just add conformal coating to it and then scrape it back. I'll show you what I mean with that. But basically, I don't want it shorting out on anything at the bottom. So, for example, this data line here is actually a little bit too long because it's virtually touching the bottom. The middle one's not so bad because that's just the ground anyway. I just don't want it shorting out on anything. And also, the connector's not going to sit 100% flat because of recreating the anchor points using solder wick. I could have used thinner solder wick, but honestly I just can't be bothered to find it. But the connector's not going to sit 100% flat. It's going to be secure, but it's just not going to be completely flat. But it won't be a problem because this sticks through the housing anyway, so it's not an issue. You know, a couple of millimetres, not going to make a difference to whether or not you can close the case. The only thing that'll make a difference to is how high the connector sits off the board. Damn you. I hate it when these don't trim properly. There we go. Yes, I can add some conformal coating for strength. That's not a big deal. There we go. So when I cure that now, that'll be pretty much solid on that one half, but I'll still be able to lift up the connector. Doesn't look pretty, but that doesn't matter. A little bit of conformal coating on that, which has just come off the tweezers. It's fine. Right, let's get this soldered on. Let's start with one side of this connector for the anchor point. Whoops. Didn't really go to plan, did it? I'm going to need to push down on the connector. There you go. That should. Yep. I was going to say it should be solid on the one side. I'll add some more solder to that in a minute. There you go. Solid. So that's why I leave it loose on the one side, because then I can get to it with the solder. Like that. And solder it properly. Right, let's just check for diode readings. So this is going to beep because I'm in diode mode, but if I pop the red probe on ground, we should get a beep. Yep, we do. And we get 0.45, so it's not short to ground. That is short to ground because it's meant to be ground. And that is 0.42. So yeah, we're getting a reading on all 3 pins. That's definitely 100% connected. Let's just make sure it's not shorted out against each other. So I'll go into continuity mode. Nope, no short. No short. Yeah. And yeah. Okay, cool. Job's a good one. And to be fair, the customer didn't ask me to do this. I'm just doing it. Just to make this thing whole again. The disk drive should be working now when we put it back together. But we're going to need a replacement ribbon as well, because the ribbon cable's knackered. I just hope it hasn't actually damaged the disk drive itself. Otherwise we're screwed. So yeah, not going to look pretty. As I said, I know I keep repeating myself, but I need to make it clear. Functionality over looks. It's the most important thing. You're never going to get it looking perfect. Least you can do is join the club. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it, mate. Mucho gracias, senor. Let's get rid of that low melt solder off here first, shall we? If we can. I don't want to be soldering it back on with low melt solder. As much as I'd like to make my life a little bit easier, let's just clean it up. Arrow facing towards the edge of the board. Minimal flux as well, by the way, when you're putting the speaker back on. You don't want the flux going inside the connector, or inside the speaker. So, the way I'll do it is to tin one side. You could actually use low melt solder for this, I suppose. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, I'll tin one side, and then if I just go like that and flow it as I'm moving it into position. You couldn't even see it, but never mind. I think you get the idea. My field of view is slightly wider than yours. And there we go. Speakers back on. Everything's reassembled, or rather rebuilt, should I say, not reassembled. Fan connectors redone. Disk drive connectors replaced. Speakers back on. No damage to the speaker. Don't want to use isopropyl alcohol here as well, by the way, because again that will get into the speaker, so I don't want to affect it in any way. I'll just use a dry cotton swab instead. I'll just clean up as best I can. That, in fact, it might be best to show you that under the microscope, to be honest. That is what they would call whamboozled. Can't reuse that connector, even if it cleans up okay. I'll try and clean it up, but even if it cleans up okay, you can't reuse that. It's had its day. It is knackered. Probably could actually clean it up. Should we try? Should we try and clean that connector up? Philly's unteachable. Yep, that's only because everybody's scared of my smell. They're like, no, I ain't going near him, he stinks. I ain't never been in my classroom. Yeah, let's just see if it cleans up. I'm not going to reuse it, but let's see if it cleans up with a grinding pen. Nope. Nope, it's gone. It is gone. Let's get a new one, shall we? Brand spanking new cable. Beautiful, mate. Cool. Got a brand new cable. Brand spanking new. Right, let me see if I can find a replacement foam. You know what? That one will do. That one will do. Mackie just purchased something from the store. Looks like an SSD controller for this PS5. Thank you. I appreciate you. Mucho gracias. Liquid metal. Let's see if there's any in this tube. Is that? Yep. I'm going to get rid of them notifications for the store on the stream because it costs me a tenner a month to get them, to play them. So I think I'm going to remove them, cut down some costs. Beautiful. The perfect amount of liquid metal. Now I've got to waste 15 cotton swabs just to get the thermal paste off this. I'll get most of it off and then I'll wipe the rest off with a cloth. Ugh. This is what I hate when there's just so much thermal paste there. Like on any console or any device, it takes forever to clean up. By the way, guys and girls, there is a free PS5 Gnaw tool on my website if anyone would like it. And no, before anyone asks, I did not use any of BWE's code. Not one bit. Took me a whopping 10 hours to make. Oh, the trolls over there. I like trolls. Actually, I do have a rule that I've implemented recently. I don't comment on anyone else's videos anymore because I received a community guideline strike yesterday for no reason, and I haven't said anything which would be deemed offensive, or at least as far as I'm aware, I haven't, unless I was drunk, and I don't drink. So, yeah, there we go. Never mind. But to protect my own channel, I'm not going to be commenting on anyone else's videos in future at all. So let's just pop in the screws from this side here, just so I don't have to lift the disk drive back off again. What's under there? Something under there, isn't that? Yeah, like a jumper wire for a start.
Mark Dale, super chat at $2.52. You forgot to clamp it, Phil.
You forgot to clamp it. Did I? Damn it. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Thanks, mate. We did. No, you didn't. Stop lying. See? Told you I'd forgot to clamp it. You lot said I didn't. I knew I did. I was adamant I did, but you lot kept calling me a liar. I can't believe that I can't even trust you guys to back me up when I need it. Shocking. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. That's it now. That's it now, trust's out the window. Loves his job so much he does it twice. Shocking. I'm not happy. No. I'm no longer happy. So I'm going to use one of my own fans just for testing. Obviously, my own fan's not going to stay in there, but just need to make sure that the fan actually does work. So yes, this fan that I'm about to put in is absolutely filthy, but it's just a test fan. That's all it is. There we go. Yep, it's recognising our disc now. Oh, it's recognising the disk drive now. It's got the beep back. And the fan's spinning. Sweet. Rossman will be proud indeed. Yep, fan spin. We forgot to put the LED in. Yeah, forgot to put the LED in. That's not a problem. I can check that in a minute. Well, I'll redo that in a minute because I've got to screw it back together anyway. Not a big issue. TV is on. And let's go to the ugly cam. It's not on the right input source.
Delo9 just
There we go.
on Twitch.
Right, let's test the disc. Yep. Is it going to spin up? Come on. It's got the disk drive loading icon. Come on. There we go. Boom. Got him. That's loading a game. Nerf Legends has just loaded up, which is the disc I've just put in. Don't ask me why. One of the kids' games. First one I found. Up yours, Sony. Yep. There we go. No, that was purely down to whoever the hell worked on this last. Like, this... Absolutely destroyed by whoever worked on this last. But, oh well. Make sure it ejects a disc. I know the LED bar's not in. Yeah, there we go. Nerf Legends, PS5. Job done. Like I said, I don't know if the customer's going to want a replacement fan. Because obviously they've butchered theirs to be able to work around the fact that the fan connector was damaged. I mean, fair play to them, they got it working. Obviously it was keeping it cool. I don't know how effective it would have been, but you know, they got it. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be fair. Could use that as a fume extractor. No, I mean it's job done. But yeah, that's my test fan, but at least we know it's working, so I can give the customer the option. And just basically say, well, the fan connector's actually working now. And obviously you've just seen that I've just disconnected that as well, so very clearly, it's not going to break. It's not going to break. That LED bar was in, so why isn't it working? That's the question. It's covered in crap on that LED ribbon, so that's not actually done yet. It's covered in crap on that LED ribbon. Whether that's what's causing it, I don't know. Just going to heat it up so I can clean it up. You better wash up. Yeah, you better wash up. You better clean up. Yeah, you better clean up. Get the flux up. You better clean it up. Was the LED bar working before? I can't see it being anything I've done because I haven't messed with the LED connector at all. Right, drop a bit of IPA on there. It was working, right, okay. Right, that goes in there a lot nicer anyway, so let's just try it again. Yeah, just crap on the connector. It's fine. Just crap on the connector. Right, well, if you are watching it back as a video, this was live streamed on YouTube. Check me out every Monday and Friday on YouTube. And if you don't, then I'm not your friend anymore.